Is it Sunday? Hey, long time no see, everybody. How's everybody doing? So good to see you. So good to feel a little bit better. I'm telling you, oh my gosh. But y'all raised everybody's spirits on Friday. That was that was a good time. Thought it might be another good time to do some chilling this evening with you all. So we're going to finish that crazy bunch of stuff that Theo and Kyle did uh, provide for us for our entertainment. There's some super duper good stuff that I left out. And so that was pretty much the defining factor for definitely needing to come back on and share that with you. Strike while the iron is hot and those things are freshly out of the box. Oh my goodness, look at y'all. Yay, the party is here. Jeff is here. Allison Prairie Girl Rocks is here. Good to see you. Boot the hot spicy is here. Ken, and we have Cody is also in the house. Great to see you. The Rocky Mountain Bear is here. Diane is also here. Uh, Millie Jess, I'm going to hope that's somewhere close to the way that you say it. I see your name a lot. And now I get to say it. Good to see you. Lisa, she made it. I hope that you had a lovely evening with your family on Friday, and it's great that you can be with us here tonight. And we have Ken in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. The Captain Ken, the other Ken. You both either all have to be the Ken or the other Ken, both at the same time. Melissa is here in the house. It's a long time no see for a bunch of y'all. Like, just moments ago, I feel like I was just hanging out with you guys over at Kyle's. And, ooh, did Kyle have the spoils this weekend? I hope you guys are all absolutely giddy from the fun that we all had over there and all the pretty gems to be had. I mean, I always am thinking, I'll have good willpower this weekend. I'm not a gambling girl, but rock buying is if I've got a vice, that's got to be one of them. Brian is here. Brian made it. Thank you for coming. I know that Kyle was losing his marbles fast and furiously there at the end. That was hilarious. And so I'm glad that you guys made it. Jules is here. Yay. Good to see you. Cindy is here, and she's here for her very first live. We have 9 of them, 9 lives. And so we've got plenty of lives to go. It's so cool that it's your first, though. All kidding aside, thank you so much for coming by, Cindy. We love to look at things under the microscope here. We get to see some of things that you might recognize from Kyle's lives. We're going over a box from Kyle and a box from Theo. And both of them just had amazing things. How many of you guys, go ahead and raise your hand if you have had a box from Kyle that you absolutely forgot all the things that you got. And then you open it and it's like that there's surprises in there. And this time, there was even a surprise gift from someone that wasn't on any of the notes. And so for a moment, neither of us knew where it had come from. But he he wasn't sure if it was supposed to be on the sly. And that's why he didn't put the little note on it or what. And so, but anyways, you know who you are. And I absolutely adore the citrine. The faceted ones. They're so pretty. Oh, look at Kyle's here. And yeah, you gotta give the people what they want, Kyle. And if they need their marbles or your marbles as you're losing them, then by all means, definitely you must keep the masses happy. We both do. And so yeah, I totally thought that the little crossfade in between Kyle's live and my live, we all we all just do the dance. That the more live the better, right? We're all alive. It's good. um, let's see. It looks like Jess is here. Good to see you. Welcome in. This is great. Oh, okay, that would be the MLLE, Jess, and so fabulous. And I'm just making sure Patrick is here. Good to see you, Patrick. It was kind of difficult to watch those citrines go by, those rough ones, and not get some faceting rough, right? Oh, Brian with the sharp eyes. That board back there is an old one that I did paint with some chalkboard paint, and then I actually painted, let's see, this hand there. Um, that is like a little landscape of our cove here, Aggie Beach Cove. And then that was the chalkboard area. Whoa. That was from the gallery. And I actually had that outside the gallery, and I'd chalkboard like the wine of the day, the show that was going on, different things. And you can see it took a little, wow, it took a little damage on the rail there, so I need to clean it up. But I mean, actually, it was a sign. It was a waterlogged board. I think it's a little thruster that Steve had. That I was like, hey, if you're not using that, then I'm gonna paint on it and use it. So. Good. Central Coast, Oregon, Jess. Is where I'm at, like right on the coast. Like I said, there's a little that's what we can walk down and hang out there. Um, and Kyle's saying he forgets stuff that he has on the daily, right? And Melissa never waits long enough to get her box to be surprised. Well, that's probably pretty smart. I like that. And I'm looking through to make sure that I'm not missing stuff. And I think that Melissa shared some of the fire agate that she was working on the Discord. Oh my goodness. I love fire agate. Anything that has some rainbows to it is super exciting. And so it was really cool to see that. Mr. Turtle Montana has joined us this evening. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. And let's see. Oh, and it was just like a very, very thank you, Melissa, saying it's pretty. It is actually very, very much a like slap some acrylic on a thing and just for like a chalkboard. So thank you. But it was interesting. Jules and I were talking about some art a little bit earlier, and I did not have a chance to make a slideshow of some of the art that I've done in the past. I used to be an oil painter, and I mean, I shouldn't say used to be, because these are things that I still love to do. I just don't do it enough or often as I used to. When I owned the gallery, I was an artist full time. I still am an artist full time. I do more jewelry now, metal arts. And back when I was owning the gallery, I was doing paintings full time, and that included oil and acrylic and watercolor and that sort of thing. And so if I had a few lives, a few more than 9 lives to have exhausted, I probably would have been like an entomological illustrator or something like that, like a scientific illustrator, as well as, being a professional artist and a silversmith and, loved astronomy. So maybe that kind of scientist too. I feel like I really missed out on the sciences since my left brain, I guess, had the bigger tug. But Kirk is in the house also. Good to see you. Got the kiln running with a load of glazed things. And when he says that, you might think donuts, guys. And he's actually the great ceramicist just over the coast range from myself. So Cindy, she so needs to leave Canada and move to Oregon. Cindy, I have to admit, it's a paradise here. Uh, there you can drive in just darn near any direction and be like in a completely different biome. Of course, the mineral spoils are amazing. We've got the thunder eggs and the obsidian and the petrified wood and plume agate like crazy, sunstones, you name it. And then we have the desert and the ocean and the mountains. It's, oh, I'm sorry. I could go on and on. I really do like it here. Did I say hi to Ryan? I think I saw your name and I was thinking it. Did you get the, like, that I was thinking the hello? Hopefully I am able to think and say at the same time. And so, anyways, oh, and Rockaby is here too. Thank you for coming by. That's great. I'm seeing a bunch of familiar names just from the Kyle live stream, and so it's kind of cool that we've got some of his um, rocks spoils to look at this evening together, and we're all living the dream. I think you guys all seem like you're finding your gems where you are, and it's always nice to have some cool destinations to go travel to, and then just knowing that we can kick back with our gems and be happy also wherever it is that you land. Home is where the heart lies, right? And oh, Jess lives in Oregon 3 months a year. Love it so much, right? And this is out near Bend and a Mojave Desert the rest of the year. I think that that's quite the smooth move. We're headed to the Mojave sometime in the nearest future, uh, for wind. Lake Mojave wing foiling is going to be a thing that we need to do pretty soon, and so those two would be good. It is heaven, and yeah, proud of Oregon. I'm not originally from here. I'm one of those transplants. Don't tell anyone, but yeah, it's a good place. Northern Rocks needs to get out to Oregon too. Everybody is welcome. Come on out. It's a good time. Lots and lots of fun stuff to check out. Christy, good to see you. Thank you for coming. And she is originally from Oregon and went to BC, then Washington, now Montana. Woo, Montana. We're also destined to go to Montana very, very soon. And I have trouble thinking that, maybe I'm going to feel like I'm not going to want to come home after that. Maine has a lot of great mines to dig at. Fantastic Rockaby. Yeah, there's always spoils where you are. Some really, really cool stuff to find. Resort Dog is here. Good to see you, man. And get a claim to mine and ride it off. All the mileage back and forth and equipment to make things. Yes, absolutely. That is part of the master plan. And my mom's in the house. Everybody say hi to Judy. Good to see you. I'm so glad that you could make it tonight. I haven't talked to my mom for too many days. You guys know that I've been sick, and of course, happy tax eve to everyone. I don't know if this is like anxiety provoking or if everybody's relieved, but what's in your moose tonight? Cheers, everybody. And I'm so happy that mine are done and that's like out of the way for another year. So cheers. And I think I said hi to Blind Squirrel Rocks either in the comments or, in the chat, or anyways, hi Blind Squirrel Rocks. And Bob is in the house. Very cool. Thank you for being here as well. And Allison is bragging on the fact that she's in Montana, and it's a good place. We do love Montana. And Willow is here. Wow. Thank you guys all for joining tonight. I really do appreciate that. Willow is saying, hello, everyone. I'm everywhere now. Did she say yes? But I have zero clue on how to get one. A claim that is resort. It's not like where I'm from it's not the norm. And so that's actually a really cool question to ask, Willow. And I'm betting that a lot of people have that question as well. And uh, there are different rules you can look up for your state and the areas that are claimable, the BLM land that is available. There are typically the things that you can claim and the things that you can't claim. And once you start finding out those things, you can start going after what it is that you might want to find, searching out an area and finding what it is that you want to find, and then going through the claim process. It's worth looking up. Googly will tell you. The University of Googly is very, very handy for this type of thing. It is accessible. And so it's not something that's too special for people to be able to do. And then there's also ways like at our sunstone mines, there are people that have claims that will sell them to you. And so if you feel like going through the claim process on your own would be kind of, out of your ability level, say, going striking out and trying to find the claim from scratch, then you can always buy a claim. And that is the worth doing a gurgle. It's gonna be like that, you guys, tonight. I'm better. I mean, like, not all the way better. I'm feeling better than Friday, but there might be some gurgles. So you can do a gurgle search, a Google search, and find some claims that are available, perhaps if you're looking for a specific kind of mineral. Like, I would love to get a sunstone claim. That would be super awesome. And Tiger Eyes in the house, hello, good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Resort Dog is doubling down on that stuff. And this is good information here. Each state can be different. And like I said, like some places you can't like do a chalcedony claim, say. And there's a free booklet from UNR School of Mining that will help you out with that. So very, very cool. Tom Cat Josh is in the house from the Journeys. And good to see you. Hopefully you are feeling like you've got diamonds on the soles of your shoes. He was up there doing some Herkimer diamond mining. I did it. I said it. That was gonna be a tongue twister, but I was able to spit that out without too much terror for you guys. And I love, we got off on the right foot talking about some super cool claim stuff, and I love that there's knowledgeable stuff going on here in the chat, helping out those of you who are interested in that. Turtles don't have ears. Are we sure? Or are they like seal ears, like teeny weeny? And Jess would love a Thunder Egg claim. Yeah, it would be really neat. And then like again at the same time, I think that there's certain areas where you can't claim certain kinds of things. And so I'm not sure, you might have private property that has thunder eggs on it, but may or may not be able to claim chalcedony. Um, that's a really interesting question. I remember reading something about that. That's why it's kind of sticking to my head. And 406 Findings, Travis is here and loving the turtles. I hope that you didn't miss the turtle scoots last time. Where's my I got a bag of ancient turtle here from from Theo. So we did look at that though last week. We've got some stuff that we didn't have a chance to look at this week, and we will be getting to that right quick. Ooh, you guys are now talking about morels. How am I supposed to not tangent when you guys are talking about morels? Are people picking them and finding them right now? I guess it's that time of year, huh? Um, I love going up to, the fresh burns and that sort of thing, and finding the morels. There's just few things that are quite as good. I also really, really like the hedgehog. Hedgehog mushrooms are, I don't know. I think I might like hedgehogs more. Don't throw rocks at me for that. And so, let's see. We have a little recap from last week. There, Blind Squirrel Rock says today, wonderful year coming up, Karen. Ooh, good. That is great to hear. Uh, you're right. It's different each year, right? That some years we get a jump on it and it's early, and other years it feels like it's more like around Mother's Day, I guess. So, you guys, there was the Petrified Wood um, last live from Montana that Theo did give me, and he is coming out, I think, with this um, crazy wood video next weekend. Should be Saturday, and so we got a little head start on getting to see the material, but it's drop dead amazing. And what makes it so amazing, and that we were reveling on it last week, was that there's such geometric crystallization from the inside of this, that's buffered by the wood grain. And so we were trying to query as to what in the world it could have been. So that last slide was at 20x, and this one's at full power at 40, but also backlit. And so, I just wanted to bring you in a little bit closer to give you a chance to see some of, like, in the bottom right hand corner, how it just keeps on going, like the structure of the beautiful crystal, um, hexes or whatever, are just, they minimize and minimize and minimize. So really, really fantastic material. Today we can look at some of this. This is Teredo wood from the Oregon coast. A couple, let's see, the last, I think either the last video or the video before last, I found this, and it was like this really interesting, looked like half of a baguette, and I think I left some of it downstairs. I was cutting these rocks today, and the end of the baguette was just the material. So this is the Teredo wood, and those of you that aren't familiar with Teredo wood, it is the Teredo nivalis shipworm, is a mollusk that will start burrowing through wood that is immersed in the water. And again, shipworm, so ships, docks, driftwood, whatever happens to be there for the Teredo nivalis to burrow into. And then they actually will leave these casting holes behind, and those usually fill up with either silicates or sedimentary material, and they become a fossil. You get petrified wood, and you get the Teredo nivalis burrows that are filled with the sedimentary or the silicates or what have you, all together becoming a fossil. And this one was in a concretion. So the concretion is the material around the outside there. And like I said, I cut it, and here's one of the slices. And so you can see the really interesting patterning that happens from the castings of those burrows. And like I said, sometimes it is incredibly gemmy. And so what we're doing here is we're looking at a wet picture under the microscope at 20x of the casting holes that have filled up with that sedimentary material. And oftentimes that's really interesting. You get like foraminifera inside and other maybe, sea matter of one kind or another that's solidifying in the sedimentary rock. And then this one is very silicate-y. And so you've got these beautiful botryoidal agate fill in areas that make it quite fancy. And so that's 20X. And we've got a closer look at that vug, if you will. This could be palm because of those really kind of stretched out lines that are being permineralized from the wood. And the wood itself is quite dark. It's pretty much black. And then this is, so surrounding this casting is the blackness of the wood itself. You can even see the cellular structure, uh, parsed in between. There's little white fill-in areas, and then the black around it. Those would be the cellular structure. And we have this perfect little S, and it almost looks like it's highlit, but those are actually those white lines going through kind of in cursive swaths are actually whatever was coming in with the sedimentary rock. So I'm not entirely sure what that is. They could be casting left behind by the shipworm or the Teredo nivalis, or it could be something else. But I thought it was just spectacular and cool looking, and so I decided to take a very close picture. And so, what if the rocks are pretty? Still no throwing. That's pretty funny. Rocky, I don't know. You're right. You got me there. Yes, go ahead and throw pretty rocks this way. Just don't expect me to throw them back. I will keep them. The wild garlic is up in the Virgin Valley. That is so cool. Also, I love wild garlic. That's so pretty. Um, and the dandelion salad is growing outside now, says Ryan. You guys are making me hungry for dinner. That sounds really good. Um, Nibbling on watercress. That is so cool. Resort dog, very much so. A Dorito would do what? And Ken says, and yeah, this is the Dorito Cheeto wood to go along with the watercress and the morel mushrooms and wild garlic and whatnot. And Kirk is asking me if I found anything in the red concrescence, and I haven't busted those open yet, Kirk. And what's funny is my dogs absolutely love stealing them out of my studio, though. I can't leave them down low. I left them in like a little bucket in my studio, and the bucket was empty. And the dogs had taken the concretions to different parts of the house, and so I gathered them back up and put them away from the dogs. And now I need to crack them open, or at least one of them, so that I can figure out what that is, Kirk. But it's definitely on the list. And it looks like, yeah, how interesting, Ryan. A great observation. It looks like the worm itself. So it would be interesting if that matter inside was actually some Teredo nivalis. Wouldn't that be cool? The soft things don't oftentimes fossilize well, but woo, that would be so cool. And Lisa is saying, hit that like button gently, and don't forget to leave a comment on the video, all please. And I really appreciate you saying that, Lisa. I forget to ask most of the time, and yet it does really help the channel as far as the YouTube propagating the video out, and it's free for you to do. So it's an easy thing to fit in. And so we also have some labradorite. This is from the batch that Theo sent me. I was just dumbfounded by it, and I did cut some of that today, and so we can look at some of that. And oh, Ken says you have to dig out. He's going to dig out his grandmother's dandelion wine recipe. That sounds amazing. I would love to hear more about that. That sounds so cool. And Scott Argyle, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks so much for sharing this. I live on the Oregon coast and walk right past this unknowingly, looking for agates. Very cool stuff. Great, Scott. Pick it up. It comes in so many different flavors, textures, colors, gemminess that I can hardly leave them on the ground. And a lot of times in my videos, people get upset at me for leaving them behind, Lisa. And so I try to pick them up when they look pretty interesting, like this one did. I just, if it looks like it could be a piece of palm, or if it's got some really neat inclusion in it, I'll go ahead and, I had to cut this open. And I don't know if Randy's here tonight, but I heard Randy's voice in my head, cut, cut, cut. And so there we go with that. Thank you again, Scott. And so now you know what to pick up and possibly even cut or polish. It takes a great polish, especially if you've got some nice gemmy stuff. And Christy is saying her cat has a thing for the quartz points in her bathroom. Yeah, what is it with animals and our rocks? Those guys. Oh, Papa's Gems is here. And hey, Papa's Gems, thank you so much for sharing the picture on Instagram. I saw that and I didn't have it. I was very busy trying to get ready for the live stream, so I didn't have a chance to thank you there, but I would like to thank you now here. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's awesome, getting the word out and all that. And let's see. Thank you, Lisa. That's what your mods are for. No, you guys don't have to work, hopefully, but I do appreciate it when you do wonderful things like that. I do very, very much. Yeah, that's funny. Those dogs are little rascals, Kirk. It's almost like having kids. They are so close to very much like having kids. Like they're a bunch of little toddlers that run around and create mischief and mystery in the household for sure. And anyways, this Labradorite, let's see, Theo sent me several slabs. This is actually that piece in that picture, and it looks dull now because not because I enhanced that picture. These are all that you're seeing on the slideshow straight out of the camera, and that would be the microscope camera, but it's just not getting in the light properly. Oh, there a little bit. There you can see what was interesting about this slab, and I had to put it underneath the microscope, was that it's like honey through rose through like the autumn colors, sunset colors, I think Kyle calls them. And it was just so pretty. And one of the reasons why that one's so pretty and unique is how light bodied it is in comparison to how dark bodied a lot of the other material that Theo did send to me. Like there, you can see how hot some parts of that is. It's just like, an oil slick. The lights over there. And that's why it's at like such a wrong angle for you guys, but you're starting to see the rainbows come out on that, and it's just brilliant. And so like I said, I did what I cut is, instead of cutting cabs or whatever, I actually cut this one in half. You can see how fat this guy is. There we go. And so I wanted to see if I could get two from one, on account that this here is a little bit on the chunky side. Oh, yeah, see? Like there's a good oil slick right there. These guys are a little bit on the chunky side for me to make cabs for like daintier jewelry. And so I thought I would take one of the slabs and just do a little experiment and see if I couldn't get it to cleave, and it did. And this one's got like some super ridiculous rainbows. It was kind of picking up, but they're like shockingly bright when you get it at the right angle, which, of course, like since I'm trying really fast. But I thought that maybe taking that underneath the microscope might be fun. We have another piece that might be even a little bit better to try with, that will definitely throw some hardcore rainbows. And oh, Sean is in the house. Thank you for coming. It's okay. Better late than never, for sure. Um, the second dog is not that much more trouble than the first, but three dogs are too many. Resort dog, sometimes I do think that. But I love all my doggy children so much that I couldn't imagine not having all three of them now. They're so fantastic. Um, and it's really unique for Labradorite. It's so gorgeous. I cannot wait to play with it on the polishing aspect, and then of course plan some fun jewelry around it. Could make an inlaid gorget with it, with one, yes. And so I was talking about, let's see, this is the blackwood that was so geometric from I believe this is from the Yellowstone, from Theo from Montana. And then I also did cut this, and I have a crowd question to ask you guys. I think, oh yeah, here's what this looked like before. And this is from the Oregon coast as well, Scott. So if you're walking along and you see this, it's probably petrified wood. The vein that you see running through there is actually carnelian, and so it's quite pretty. Now, sometimes you can cut these guys open and the veins go straight through, and it looks like maybe there's a little bit of veining there. And if I go some more, looks like maybe that one has like just a tiny bit through there as well. Um, and yet the this wood is absolutely black, 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 black. And so they go back and forth in science saying that the black wood may be bogwood, or it could be kind of like charcoalized, because one of the theories is that what you see around this guy is ash. And it could have had something to do with either being submerged in ash and being bogwood and becoming dark that way, or actually, getting carbonized and then being black that way. Hold on. Cough is still here, so make sure everybody, you've got your Steinkerns ready. Ready, set, go. And so the crowd knowledge that I wanted to ask you guys about is, who has bleached wood before? Because what I understand is that you can take very dark wood like that and you can bleach it, and you will be able to see the wood grain. And I think that that would be super fun to try, because a lot of this that we have on the Oregon coast that looks like this, it very well could be oak. And I would love to make an identification on that piece. And even as it stands, like, I think it would have to be a thin section for me before I would even be able to see like wood grain or anything like that as it stands right now. And so it would be fun to see the wood grain without having to take it all the way to a thin section. And let's see. Mr. Turtle Montana says, I need to look at all of these beautiful stones as much as I can while I still can. I went to my doctor today, and oh no, Mr. Turtle Montana. And he said, I'm losing my eyesight. I can't see myself as a blind man. My goodness, prayers to you, sir. I really, really hope that let's go for like a second and third diagnosis on that. Let's talk to some other people. I wish you the very best with your sight. And yeah, I'd be getting some eyefuls right now, as much as you can, for sure, sir. That's really intense, and I do hope that you're okay. And thank you for sharing that. Whoops, with our community. That was a slurred highlight there. And Steinkern Bob. Sometimes when I go to take a comment off, like it'll go ahead and select the next one. So sorry if I slur into something that wasn't intended to go up there. And so Mr. Trindle Montana is saying yes, you've heard of doing that with the bleach. And Ken is saying you can. I'm going to try that right now. Yeah, and so I wanted to see if somebody had done it that might have some instruction as far as how you go about it, what to do and what not to do, or if there's certain material that you wouldn't want to do it on just in case something. Kind of like putting uh, calcite in vinegar. Like you wouldn't want to take certain things and put them into cal or vinegar just in case the wrong thing should happen. And so I thought I would check ahead of time. And so also Sean is saying that the acid might uh, uh, would bleach, and so that's yeah that it seems like I saw somewhere specifically about bleach though. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? I'll keep on coming down the chat. Sorry. Reading kind of on the slow side. Let's see. Jason with Rock Hounding Life has tried it and it did nothing. Oh, interesting. But he tried the whole chunk. So let's see. And Willow Rock says, I found my fossilized turtle skull. That sounds incredible. I would love to hear more about that. And Kyle is saying, I've heard about using bleach too. I've got some wood left outside to naturally bleach in the sun. It takes a long time. Yeah. And so it seems like, when I cut this open, I was just like, wow, this would be a great candidate. It's not precious. So I wanted to try something. And so since you're here and you answered, Kyle, when you were treating the Black Forest wood, what did you use, and did that bleach the wood or did it just clean it off? Interested to know. And okay, it was just bleach. Google it, many articles. Okay, I appreciate that. Oh, Mr. Turtle Montana was joking. I'm just too dull. I like to take a joke right now. My synapses are way too slow. Like you can't see yourself as a blind man. Like, yeah, like the punchline's there. I think I got sucker punched by that one. By the punchline, like cold cock. But I'm glad to hear that, so that you're not you're not going blind, Mr. Turtle Montana. That's great. And I love jokes, so like keep them coming. Even if I am super slow, I'm the the gullible one at the party that y'all can laugh with. That's great. Let's see. Over here, iron acetate will ebonize oak. Going the wrong direction. Interesting. If I need to darken some oak, I will know what to do there. Excellent. Let's see. And Lisa is saying that Jared has tried it too. So I could hit him up with some questions. And dried frothy wood and Starabond darken it to an extent to wet looking. That's yeah, right. You've got some experience there, being there in the Virgin Valley, right? lots of petrified wood with cool things inside to play with there. Excellent. I think we are called gullible. We are called, yes, definitely. That Opal guy has entered. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Kyle is saying that he used muriatic acid had a bucket of water to rinse and then a third bucket of water with the baking soda to neutralize it. Yeah, you got to stop it. Stop the acid. Um, pardon me. Thanks to Theo for the tips on the wood. Boy, that one got slivers in my throat. All this talk of the wood, and so Kyle did it lighten the don't be sorry, Mr. Turtle Montana. Did it lighten the wood? Is the question. Melissa's feeling emotionally abused. Right, the two of us are. Hugs. Hugs to you, Melissa. Over here feeling bad. I'm feeling bad. I'm gonna be playing the blues on my ukulele when we're done here. And so that reminds me, yeah, I didn't have time to pull together the art for tonight, so I'll do that next live stream. And also I will play you a tune. I shall promise right here, right now, to play you some sort of tune on the next live stream. And okay, Ken in real time is performing an experiment for us all. And so at the very least we can have some instant gratification as we're looking at the rocks. He can kind of keep us updated. We'll have like late breaking news from Ken on what the bleach is doing to the wood. I love it. This is great. Let's all play with rocks all together right now during this live. That's what it's all about. And it didn't lighten it up too much, is what Kyle is saying. Mostly just cleared up the calcite and other stuff, and you didn't soak it forever. I don't know how much patience I would have either. Turtle soup blues, love it. Willow, exactly, perfect. Punked. We've been punked. Love it. Okay. And so let's get back to, there's that beautiful Labradorette. And we can see some more of that in a little bit. And then, oh my gosh. So Kyle, I'm so glad that you're here. It's like ocho agates or ocho geodes, or what are those again? I like buying things that I don't know the names of, but I got a couple of these and they're so pretty. So this is down the throat in the druzy depths of this ocho geode, and you can see, I mean, they just go down, and it's like this fantastic druzy cave. And then this guy is looking very familiar. That's the mouth of the cave, and you can see the cut of the agate around the outside. Yeah, ocho geodes. I got it right. Woo! Yeah, they're so pretty. And so I do have one in the vise, and so like this one is in the vise, and so we can play with this one some more. I put it in the vise, and I was like, don't play with it. And then I was looking at it, and I'm like, take a picture right now because it's so pretty. I'm like trying not to look at it, save it for the live stream, and then yeah, I just I had to play just a little bit. And so thanks for the assist, Kyle. There you go. We all love these little ocho geodes so much. I got these from Kyle's box. So if you need some ocho geodes in your life, then one of Kyle's live streams might be the answer for you. Just dependent on if you have any. Kyle, do you have any for next weekend? You might have like a run on ochos. And then yeah, Resort Dog, the Ochocos. Not quite. That's the name of my middle dog, though. My middle child. Such pretty little caves. And so we also have some amethyst on deck, and I wanted to crowdsource some knowledge here as well. We'll be looking at this guy next. It's also ready to go. We've got a couple amethysts to look at. And once again, I was just trying to get it ready. You can see that this is backlit. So, they're two different platforms. So I was just getting a couple platforms ready for you guys for tonight. And I saw all these little inclusions in the amethyst, and I'm like, what? I hadn't taken a close look. You can see the zoning of the color there. So pretty. This isn't a cabochon that I got. I cannot wait to facet this. Inclusions are fantastic when they are cool. Like when it's not a fracture inclusion, but it's something that gives the stone character. This is just going to be so much fun to facet. And we've got some information here from Patrick Donahue, the rock doctor. And he tried the different acids and iron out on petwood from Washington, and nothing bleached the color. Yeah, now I'm wondering if that is like some kind of an urban legend that you can do it. So thank you so much for pitching that in. Wow. I mean, so you have to wonder if it takes a certain, you know, how the wood got to be the dark color might be the reason why it works or not. And so maybe with the bogwood, it would be different than, say, a wood that is mostly agatized. And that I asked to you, Patrick, if you're still here, is was it the dark wood from Saddle Mountain or wherever in Washington you did get it that is more agate, or is it dark from something else? I would wonder. And so Christy is wearing a full Ocho suit, ring, necklace, earrings. Really? Oh, sweet. I'm picturing like this radical suit. It's got like an Ocho print all over it, like, because I want that, like those print all over things that you can buy with your like dog's face on it or something like that. Like, let's have the one that has like the Ocho uh beautiful wild patterns that it has. But no, the sweet sounds really sweet as well. That I would love to see. Christy, I don't know if you're over on our Discord. If one of my wrenches wants to share the invite to the Discord here in the chat, that would be super duper extra double red. And then maybe you could pop it in the show and tell. I can't remember that we've had a couple of like group joinings where a bunch of people joined at one time, and to be honest, I have completely lost track. It's so good to see all y'all over there. And so share it if you're there. If you're not there, it would be great if you wanted to join us over on the Discord, and I'd love to see. I wish that people could do like in live time visual sharing on the chat, and yet the platform YouTube does not allow for that. I guess they just don't want it to be that awesome. There's rules about being that awesome, apparently. And Sean is thanking Patrick for the great input, and I thank you for that great input as well. Probably opalized wood treats better with the water content. That's a great suggestion, Resort Dog. Bob's is running. And so don't run too fast or fall down. And thanks so much for joining us, Bob. Always a pleasure to have you in the house. And Kyle still has some left. Excellent. And there's some more in the warehouse as well. So if we have a run on Ochos, Kyle can get more. And so y'all, if you need some Ochos in your life, you'll see some more of that here in just a second. I promise not to tarry too long. I'm just trying to catch up to see if anybody knows what these little inclusions in this amethyst are, is the question that I have to crowdsource the knowledge here. I do not know what those little mineral sprays are, but I would love to know. They are so cool. And let's see. Every time you play with it, what's going on? Is it Montana? Mr. Turtle, are you, every time you play with it, God kills a kitten? At least that's what my mama used to always tell me. Okay. I'll try to curtail the playtime. We don't want mass kitten killings happening. Oh my gosh, I'm a bit behind. Let's catch me up. Everybody's included. Maybe it depends on the wood location, wood density, and what causes the dark colors, is what Kyle is saying also, which is something that I am interested in as well. Um, and Petwood picks are up in Discord, and Ken is going to, let me put this up. Do updates and he'll let it go for weeks. Yay, I love a good experiment. Thank you so much for playing, Ken. Awesome. Cheers to you. And let's see. Patrick is saying it was a regular dark brown Saddle Mountain wood. I made it a video which you all watched already, right? Right? Yes, Patrick, we remember. And if a mod wants to share the link to that video over there at Patrick's, or at the very least Patrick's channel, then we can go and check out that video that we all watched before, but we should probably watch it again just to refresh our memories. And thank you, Patrick. Gonna check that out. Nile Red has a video how to make transparent wood, but it's for recently dead wood, not petrified. Okay, Willow, thank you for that. And manganese, being what could be making it dark, is potentially what the manganese is the answer for, Sean, she says, with the like upturn in the lilt of her voice as a question. Mr. Turtle Montana can't run on account of being a turtle. I don't know. Like, I've seen some desert tortoises really shuffle quickly. Maybe not quite a run, but they can be kind of fast. Mark your calendar. We all just witnessed the last time Karen reads one of my comments out loud. Better mark it again. Apparently I don't learn very quick. She keeps on reading them. And thank you, Allison. You're the best. I really appreciate you throwing the links up there. Very, very cool. And so we're gonna take more of a look at this amethyst next, so that we can kind of, maybe if you aren't sure what that mineral might be, we'll do some amethyst gazing, and I'll get the chill music going so that we'll have like a good healthy dose of chill and gem gazing, and we can try to figure out what mineral this is, maybe getting a live shot. This is actually, I believe this is the other cabochon that I have. And so we can take a look at both of them, but look at that structure in those inclusions. And I'm like feeling so lucky that I got two amethyst cabs that have such interesting little inclusions in them. They're almost platelet-like, kind of like how the copper platelets happen in the sunstones. This is at 40 magnification, and these are going to just be smashingly cool, done up in a facet job, I believe. And so a brisk crawl. Yeah, I can picture that, Mr. Turtle Montana. Yeah, tortoises can move. See, Ken's on my team. You know it. Those guys definitely. I remember driving in the desert one of the first times I visited Tucson. We were driving, actually. My mom is probably still around, and I believe it was when my mom and I drove out to Tumacacori from Tucson. And I swear it looked like there was an army helmet running across the highway. And I was like, what the heck is that even? And the highway was riddled with all these Dr. Seuss style cacti. It looked like the ocean reef had, been built up, and then the tide had just gone out right before we drove down the highway, and just left this incredible strange forest of underwater sea cacti in strange configurations there. And then here was this army helmet running across the highway. And yeah, it was obviously a desert tortoise, but it was so surreal. I'm pretty sure we pulled over to see what the heck it was. Huge, bigger than a normal sized army helmet. So pretty great. And just don't run with scissors in your hand, turtle. Yeah. Or shuffle too fast with shears or any of the variations thereof. And Ken is saying we have gopher tortoises here. They're cool. Tortoises are so cool. So cool. Tortai. Yes. Tortellini. Like if you have a group of small tortoises, is it a tortellini? Kind of like our box of hammerheads, or the shimmer of sharks. that still that still cracks me up. My gosh. Um, let's see. We have oh yeah, I think MN is the main dendrite agent. Oh, manganese being what you thought this was, Mr. Sean, being so quick that I like you were actually talking about this, not the darkness of the wood. Yay! See, I'm slow, but like I'm going at turtle pace. Like we're all sauntering along, perhaps at the same speed. That is super, super, super extra double cool. Um, and thank you guys for your whys and pitching it in so that we can know what these things are. And let's see, could those inclusions be hematite and crocodilite? Now, is crocodilite something that hangs out with the tortellinis? I'm not sure. Um, iron inclusions, perhaps, says Cody. That's an interesting suggestion. So I looked it up. The purple color in amethyst is caused from iron inclusions, and so is there some chance that this could be suspended iron crystals, guys? Another cool potential. Yeah, and then actually, doesn't manganese make some things purple? Actually, so that's also an interesting thing. Um, and we've got a soliloquy here from Ellison. We don't have armadillo here. My kids went on a road trip with their grandma. She pulled over to show the kids a roadkill armadillo, and it blew my kids' minds. They thought she was pranking them. Yeah, right? Snipes and armadillos. No, those things are so weird. Like, talk about, prehistoric looking creatures like the pangolin and armadillo. Very cool. Good on her for stopping and making sure those guys saw that. And manganese is what gives Montana agates their dendrites. So is that what we're looking at? And man, I I've got the microscope, so I can get closer. I'd have to change my lenses or put it underneath the other microscope, the one that goes up to whatever, like 1,000, and see what maybe the structure is. I mean, that is, after all, what these are for, right? So yeah, Willow Rock says 200x would be good. And Ken is saying that they have armadillos there. How cool. I don't like I've seen live armadillos, but I haven't seen them in the wild. So it would be cool to see them just kicking around, doing things, being armadillos. It's the way the light hits it as it degrades, basically. Yeah, interesting, Cody. Thank you. Lisa's saying, quit bragging. Quit bragging, Ken. Have to see the structure you said before I could type it. Yeah. Yep. And so it looks like these guys are destined to go underneath for a bigger amount of magnification. And so I also Steinkerns to everyone. I showed this last week at the end of the live stream, and I didn't have a close up of what the Steinkern that went on the merch looked like, and so I I took it and here we go. And so obviously the merch has different colors behind it, but that this is this very Steinkern. Whoop. And I went through a bunch of Steinkerns, and I landed on this one because I like the way that and it's huge. Like this is, I think, a Trophin, like it would continue down another about inch. Really, really big, fat, beautiful mollusk shell. And I have a couple of them that have the shell still intact that I've done some polishing on, and so I thought that that was a good one. Is one of my favorites, um, along with the Calicantharis that I'm always talking about. We see that a lot more, but these guys, to give you reference, like it is bigger than my ear, but it looked between like exclamation point and question mark. Steinkern or Steinkern. And so there's that. This is what the merch looks like. Um, and it's rolling around on the bottoms of my videos. Apparently, there's like a strip of it. Um, and like that's some of the different merch. It's through spring. I tried to whinny down the prices as low as I could go. And yet it's still like there's usually a buck or two that will get pitched towards the channel if you want to get your Steinkern on. But people kept on asking me for merch, and so there's like stickers, and of course the cup, and regular shirts and stuff like that. And you can see, $20 for a t-shirt isn't bad. And so I tried, like I said, to bring it down so that would I buy it for that? Yes, I would buy a tank top for $18. And so anyways, the merch is up. I don't think that they show up on the I don't think that they show up on the anything that's not monetized. And so I don't think they're on my live streams because I never monetized the live streams. I want people to be able to watch, like last Friday's was like 3 hours long. I want you guys to be able to see the live stream without the inclusion of too many of the ads. And so I know that YouTube does what it does, but at least if I don't monetize it, then you don't have to worry about ads coming up all the time. And so on my regular videos, though, I believe the strip appears, and you can, hit that as a hot link to see the rest of the store. And I did say the last time also that if like somebody right away, I think it was Mike, was like, oh, I don't see a dude's tank top. I just see the girl tank tops. And so if you see, like, if you notice that there isn't the thing that you're looking for, like also I want to get a water bottle. They do have water bottles. I just hit the 15 subject max on like doing a collection. And so I can start another collection, and I can have either that logo or a different logo on it. But the water bottle and the dudes tank tops. And if you have something that you don't see there, leave it in the comment, or you can reach me somehow and I will put it on there. Because like they're just so cool. Like I'm definitely getting a mug on my first order, because I mean it's just great to be able to Steinkern with the Steinkern. So anyways, there you go. There's that. And we're going to get right into the microzone. This is in real time. You can see when I move, it moves. And look at the color zoning in this gorgeous, gorgeous amethyst. So I know that in most circles, when you are cutting gems, that you're looking for the saturated color and you don't necessarily want to include the zoning. There's different rules as far as what a high quality gem is supposed to fulfill, as far as the boxes checked on what makes it great. For me, I love things that give something added character. And so there's those guys. Let's get those guys into the picture. And it's going to try to catch up with it's on auto exposure right now. It's trying to move that over. Sorry, guys. It'll come back. Don't worry. But I just, wanted to bring those guys into a better view for you guys. Look at that beautiful suspension. That's just pretty to look at. What an elegant way for minerals to set up. And so if that doesn't help with our ID, that's fine. But if that does help a little, then there's that. And I will definitely either share a closer look at this stuff either on the Discord if I get under the bigger magnification, bring out the bigger microscope, then I'll share either photos there, or we'll do another session where we can all be looking at the structure a little bit better. But don't you think that if I can, for a faceted gem, frame some of this so that that's viewable, plus that color zoning, that's a lot of character that you wouldn't want to lose out of a gem, to me. Even though a regular gem cutter might feel like the zoning, or the different color of the clear to the darker amethyst might not be as desirable. John is in the house. Welcome, John. Yes, somebody did say amethyst, and I was wondering if you were going to show up, because if this isn't pandering to some of your weaknesses, we're gonna look at amethyst for a little bit here. And let's see, I'm gonna catch up here as we're looking at this really quick. Everybody's saying hi. And manganese usually looks feathered. Well, right. They were saying dendritic. And so that's actually what I'm wondering at as well. And I believe this is as close in as we can go. And so I can pull us out a little bit so you get a reference as to how it is including itself in the cabochon. So there's the edge of the cabochon. Below it is the straight line of the light. And so this is being backlit at the moment. And we see there's this like huge inclusion going through some of that thicker. I'm going to try to move us over a little bit. Look at how cool the zoning is. It's like this was like some kind of a fabulous don't worry, I'm gonna get us there, and then I'll settle us down. Sorry if the segues aren't very perfect, but look at how interesting our zoning is. Like I was saying, like that center line is almost like it was the crystal phantom, and the cut of this cabochon decided to trace that along. But I also was saying that we've got a kind of obnoxious inclusion that's wispy, and you can see that it's starting almost there at the tip, next to the phantom going upwards, and then it feathers down across the center. and it splays out. It looks like in two directions once it gets towards the top of our picture, going once again towards the side, towards the corner of the overall picture, and then one of them is cruising straight towards the top, which makes it less desirable to try to cut, because what happens if it cleaves on that? Is that a fracture, or is it like just kind of an inner growth inclusion? So, and it does, Lisa, it looks like an ametrine, but I don't believe I was buying ametrine. And when it's not backlit, it doesn't look so yellowish. And so I'm not sure. It could be ametrine, but I'm pretty sure that it was supposed to be just amethyst when I was buying it. And like, these are pretty grapey dark looking without the light. Let me see if I can safely do this without messing up our setup. Oh wow, it looks like it's underwater now, huh? That's how sensitive everything is in here. Like, I can't move without. Okay, there's that. And we're gonna bring this, there we go. That's kind of, I'm glad that you made that comment, Lisa, so that we can have a look at it with some regular lighting. And this is like coming off as being pretty bluish. Let me see if I can pull the exposure up a little. I mean, this is with like a huge amount of exposure, and there. So that's kind of what it looks like without the backlighting. And it does, like, it darkens so much and so fast in the center there. But look at all of that manganese or iron or whatever that is, the inclusions. So I'm going to have to figure out some, like, that might cut like a small stone and then a bigger stone towards the back. And I might try to incorporate as much of that, that fun play that's going on in the ridge there. But hopefully that gives you guys a little bit better of an idea. Speaking of character, hello, John. You are quite the character. I'm glad that you joined. And here's a question. How do you actually get to the Discord thing? I click the link. It takes me to a browser that says accept the invite. I click that and it takes me to an empty Discord account. So I'm hoping that somebody can help her there. Because, that's been back long enough that I can't remember exactly why that happens or what you need to do. Oh yeah, look at Allison is wondering as well. So hopefully, yeah, I think you have to download the Discord app or sign up or what have you, and then it'll help you get in there. Otherwise, perhaps not. Purple arrow point of doom. Yeah, that I love. How pretty. How pretty is that? Yeah, I'm hoping that that we can get Christy in there. And John is helping. Thank you so much. And it worked for that opal guy. Oh my gosh! And it looks like Christy did it. So John, whatever you did, helped out a whole bunch. Thank you so much. And Jenny, this amethyst is from Kyle. So I think, oh, this is wonderful. Everybody's welcoming her into the Discord. Yay. I love it when things happen. So Jenny, my first guess would be Brazil, and yet, oh, Brazil or African. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. Kyle has seen that and is already trying to swoop in and brain for me. Thank you so much for that. And I'm pretty sure it's hematite inclusions. Awesome. Fantastic. I am so excited about that, Kyle. Did you know that these had these in there? because they're fabulous. And so while this is still on like this, and again, I want to say that this is maybe, you can see my fingers in reference to that. And so a 10, 12 centimeter, millimeter stone. So, it's fairly generous in size, just so that you get like kind of a size reference for it. Turns out I have the calipers right here, so let me get that on centimeters. Maybe bigger than that. Looks like 17. Bring that in. That's 16. So bigger than I thought. Yeah, nice, juicy. And so I might, like I said, I might just attempt 2 stones out of that one. I don't know how many of you guys get any value in me talking about what strategy for faceting might be, but I do know that some of you are talking about wanting to get into faceting yourselves. And so maybe it helps or maybe it doesn't. I'm hoping. Now this one. Look at all of those. I got lucky. I got so lucky. It's so rad. I had no idea that these guys would have that in it. And I'm pretty sure there seems to be, I think you can see my, should get rid of your optics for me for a second here at least while we're looking at this. So you can see this one's a little bit smaller. It's not as blue in the center. It's more grapey all the way through. It's just the way that the camera wants to deal with it, I think. And then you can see that there is a little bit of some kind of a crunchy inclusion right there. It could be just a little bit of fracture, could be healed, I don't know. But otherwise, this one's looking really clear. And look at that spray. So I don't really typically enjoy working with a pear shape very much as a jeweler, or, a jewelry designer. But I might have to cave in just to save as much of this stone as possible with the shape that I choose, either doing an egg or a teardrop pear shaped thing, because those inclusion sprays are so cool. And so let's see. More comment. Oh, Jenny, thank you so much. So here we go. Maybe manganese is more common in the African amethyst. Thank you for that. And folks, thank you so much for helping Christy get onto the Discord. It looks like we have mission accomplished. We must see. Yes, Tiger Eye, believe me, I will not be able to keep any secrets. We must see this stone when you finish the sunstone you facet. And I believe there's probably more there that didn't happen. Here we go. Perfection. Oh, you make me blush. Thank you, Tiger Eye. You did get a special stone. You really, really, really did. That one, like I feel like some sort of conduit, Tiger Eye, and y'all, when I talk about this, you have this opportunity to work with a stone and you don't want to wreck it because it's the onlyest one of its kind. It's just an original and nature's gift to us. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I know that sounds a little bit sappy, but I do feel like it's my pleasure, and I'm sincerely humbled to be able to work with it and hopefully not ruin it. It is such a heartbreak when a stone decides to say break on you, or something doesn't work out, or you rub too much of the stone away, like you make a mistake and because of that accident you have to lose more stone to the process. And so thank you so much for that vote of confidence. And like I said, we added Wyatt over there at Facetron was so kind to provide for me my depth meter for my Facetron machine. And so Up until now, I've been using what came stock on the machine, and then I was able to upgrade. And so the one that came stock was sticky, and it didn't really work. And so that takes a lot of eyeball and meat point facet making, which those of you who do the faceting understand what that is. And there's nothing wrong with it, and it makes you a very good faceter if you can get there with the meat points. It's a good thing, but having the machine tell you that you've reached the depth that you want to is going to make some of the more difficult cuts feel a little bit more enticing to me, and that I won't accidentally ruin things. I'm going to do something here really quick and take me. Hello. I'm turning the lights back the way that they were, and I didn't want to fry y'all. And so instead of damaging your eyes, we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to take care of the exposure before we get there so that this thing looks better before you get there. And so again, like I said, we have some interesting zoning here. It looks like they went with what was already going inside the crystal. I don't know. So cool. So, magnet. That's a good call. And I don't have one really handy right here, but that I can, I will definitely try that, and I will share that with you guys over there on the Discord as well. It's definitely our way to keep track. Now, one of the cool things that I want to point out before I zoom in is look at how this spray of the mineral is going through the stone. And then you see over to the right at the bottom, it's going in a different direction. And so you have to wonder if we had different growth lines happening with, different quartz growth lines happening with different mineral growth lines there as well. Neat. So cool. Grapey. I thought you said gravy. Sorry, man. And so we're going to Who Wants to Get Closer? So that was back there. It was about at, I guess, 10x or so. And we're going to cruise on in and improve our look at these and hopefully be able to get a nice enough view that maybe somebody who has a good feeling as far as mineral identification can get there for us. And Christy does have the Ocho suite listed over there on the Discord. And so how totally cool is that? And it's fascinating. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, you make a good point. And Jules is saying, where did you go? Oh, there she went. I collect faceted stones. Faceting is fascinating to me, even though I don't do it. Oh, that's great to know, Jules. You know a few faceters here in the audience, and like I was saying, there are more and more people getting into the faceting as we speak. It seems like more people are getting machines and affording what's out there. And I was saying in the last live that Wyatt definitely is welcoming anybody who comes across a used Facetron. I turned the light on to see if it might benefit from some top lighting too, but those are dense, dark mineral inclusions. But to finish my thought there, that if you buy a used machine, one of the fears that I had when I bought my machine was that I was not going to be able to get the parts. I literally bought the machine or got the machine, And then like within a few months, there was the announcement that Facetron was going out of business. And like I had an absolute terror over it, that I wouldn't be able to get, say, replacement belts and stuff like that. And like I've said, Wyatt has taken over. This is at 40X, and so that's as close as this setup will get to this this specimen as it stands right now. Moving it around just a little bit. Look at that, like beautiful sunset colors with, like, you know, just a barrage of shooting stars through it. Really neat. Yeah, and so at any rate, just dependent on whichever machine that you can get. Getting a used machine is like a really, really smart move as a beginner. It's going to be a little bit more affordable, and oftentimes it'll come with laps and DOPs and all the things that you need. And if it doesn't, then what's nice is, you know, some of the companies out there like Ultratech and Facetron, you know, they can still get you what you need. And so anyways, that's my PSA on faceting. And that's going to be a facetnating stone to cut. I cannot wait. And if John is still ambiently here, then we've got one more of these beautiful amethysts to look at. And this one has like the coolest target. And so I just thought it might be interesting to look at the configuration here. Although this one's pretty thick and so difficult to actually be able to see through. I'm going to turn that part off. And here's what we've got going there. You can bring the exposure up a bit. There we go. Now, isn't that pretty? Some very fun crystal structure of the amethyst happening here. And Ken says that there's a second piece in the wood, or bleach wood in the bleach. So awesome. Good of you to share your experiment with us. I'm gonna move this around a little bit so that you guys can see all the different directions. It's so cool to see the actual framework working that way. And so let's get closer, guys. Get into that color. And bring that into focus. It's really interesting activity going on down there at the very bottom edge. If you were losing your eyesight, this is the type of thing I'd want to be looking at. Mr. Turtle. I love that bottom part. Just love the tiers of the structure going on there. Let me bring the exposure down just a touch so that we can see that a little bit better. Not overdo it. Somebody say purple rain. So pretty. And so we've done our homage to purple, I believe. And up next, I would love to share a fossil that Theo shared with us. And so I will bring this out for a second. Oh, maybe we should do the Ocho now, though. Okay, Ocho real quick, and then that fossil. Let's move that out. I think the Ocho is ready, and we might as well take advantage of what's already ready already. It might be too smart to even for me to do anyway. All right. So way far away. Let's bring that in a little bit so that we can see. And we're going to need that in view. Talk amongst yourselves while I get this going. Release that one, fry your eyes. Take it way out. And Christy is asking Ken, are there any changes? And I would love to know that too. And Melissa's still looking for Christy's posting, so hopefully that's gonna get found. Oops. What thread did you put it in? And Al Gold, welcome in. Good to see you. We were looking at amethyst, and now we are looking at an Ocho under the microscope. And so I'm just gonna take the banjo down just a touch here. Little waltz to look at the Ocho with. And here she blows. That is it in the vise. And what's interesting is that I turned the exposure down so that it wasn't quite as shiny. But let's see. So what's interesting about this, actually, wow, you can see the fortification lines, like the undercutting of the fortification lines there in the sheen of the cut. But what I'm going to try to do is move it at an angle so that the light isn't, causing us not to see how darn cool that is. Isn't that so beautiful? And so, let me see about, I wonder, oh, well, we're going to see if we just turn that down just a little. So, trying to give the light a break there. Bring the exposure down. There we go. So we're still getting some glare off of the top there. Might be able to angle it just a little bit more so that it's not catching that, and then we'll go in for a closer view. But I mean, there we go. That is candy. That is rock candy. Look at how gorgeous those blooms and the swirls and the transition between the red and the blue is just outrageous with these. They're so pretty. Might be his imagination, but it does look like the first piece is lightening up already. Yes! So those of you who are in late, we are having an experiment in live time via Captain Ken G, and he is doing a bleach bath for some petrified wood because we were wondering if it might bleach some dark wood. And so thank you. That started maybe 45 minutes ago or something, maybe longer. My goodness. Time flies when you're doing these lives, I'm telling you. And so Ocho comes after siete and before nueve. Yes. It's the beautiful 8. And so yeah, this stuff is just incredible. And thank you Mr. Ken for doing the bleach test. And so let's take a look here a little bit closer. We're out almost as far as we can go. So that would have been like, 5x or something like that. And I mean, the colors just get more and more rich as we zoom in. And I wanted to have a look at some of the agate first. To me, these are interesting because the agate is so beautiful, and these incredible kind of plumy bits. Swing on over here. Like, just look at how lovely that pluming is there. All of that whole, like, look at how detailed this there is. That whole Jupiter storm going on at the bottom of the picture. And I can move that up just a bit. That is outrageous. So the agate is good. But then also, let me get rid of that for now. Let's get a little closer to that outrageousness, and then we'll go down, right down its throat, go down into the cave. But this is so elegant here, and that's how good it is with the polish that it came with, and I suspect that it can get a lot better, because it's a kind of a quick polish, more than something that, say, Kyle would do. Let's see, how crispy can I get that? Just amazing. And really nice druzy going on there too. So take a little cruise. Some really nice ribbons. Oh, lighten that up a little bit. Maybe that's too much. Nope, that's too little. And I cruise back over here and follow some of these. Like, it just looks like waves are very, very atmospheric. Love that squiggly down in the corner right now. That whole squiggly deal is so cool. Kind of go up. Have a look at those. Yeah, that looks like a good sky, a stormy sky kind of situation. And it's got so much sort of depth going on that it's even hard to choose what to settle on as far as the bringing it into into view, like clear picture. Good stuff. My teeth can't handle that raw candy. I'm with you, that opal guy. It makes my teeth hurt for sure, thinking about it. A loop will get you 20x, and we're a little bit more than 20x right now, but I mean, that you would be able to see some of this magnificence for sure. And AL Gold Prospecting is saying, I'm going to have a new video on a few opals in the next few days. Fantastic. Definitely looking forward to that. It's macro shots like this that influenced my attempts to paint rock structures. Nice. That sounds super cool, John. And I would agree. These just are outrageous. And Ken, I hope that you took a before and after shot, because I saw that you just posted an update over there on the Discord, and it would be super duper cool if we have a comparo going. I don't understand how they form such feathery goodness, right? Like, those of us who, can make that in your cappuccino or whatever, a good barista, or when you've made that sort of ink and oil type thing happen for paper design, just then imagining that this occurs in the silicates. Wow, what did happen? I love putting my head there for sure. It's just incredible. And so what a magnificent little world. I guess we could go a little bit closer, although I don't know how much more it's going to have to show us given the polish that we have. I think it's going to start showing us how much it needs more polish. So what we'll do is we'll pan back out, move over to the center, and let's take a journey down this crystal cave, because I have been dying to do that, and I didn't play while I was preparing as much as I would have liked to. And so what I think is really elegant here, I can pan out just a little bit more so you get, whoops, wrong way, the reference. But, on the bottom of the cave, we have the red agate. And at the top of the cave, we have the blue agate. You see some nice points right there at the mouth of the cave. And then as you go in, it maintains that color against the druzy. And so that's just really neat. I hope that you guys have a chance to look at your ochos. So take a closer look at this point that's right here at our entrance. And there's a perfect point up there on the left-hand side too. Looking really cool. And bring that into focus. This is like a big chunky quartz point right there. And two of them sticking up out of the floor like a stalagmite. And a good look at that clear point over there on the left-hand side. And we'll bring that back into view. Hello. And there's one behind it that's very pretty. And I like how some people are trying to have self-control about their what kind of jokes they're willing to tell at this point. And so now we're traveling back in the cave as far as the focal point goes, and you can see these beautiful points just coming into view all down, just perfect little gemmy points as we travel down, and we can get closer to them. And that's pretty magical. These guys are so tiny. We're at the 40x. Getting a pretty nice look. I love that wall over there to the right with that big old point that's actually pointing straight at us, and then right adjacent to it is one that's pointing to the side that we're seeing a really nice profile of. There was an earthquake going on while the silica-rich fluid was settling, right, Ken? Who knows? Maybe that is the answer. The deposition of minerals is magic. Yes, I agree completely, that opal guy. And somebody just got home, and so the dogs are going crazy. So don't mind all the woofing out there, and hopefully it's not causing your dogs to woof a whole bunch as well. And movies like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and such, where people are made small, I always think I would be spending all my time looking at rocks, for sure. Everybody hold on just for a moment. Come on, guys. Come on. All right. Sorry about that. Doors were locked. People needed to get in. Um, so some places I've seen call Ocho agates alien agates. Yeah, I could totally see that. Um, Houston requests permission to land. Absolutely. Yeah. I saw Lily eat a sunstone. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Lily loves to come in here and try to steal things. Um, and Christy's dog is too old and deaf to care. So excellent. All right. And so what we're going to do is I've got a tooth. And it is, maybe I'll let you guys, I don't know if I mentioned it before. And so if you didn't catch it, I'll let you guys try to guess whose tooth this is. But I thought it was pretty darn interesting. And so I'm gonna multitask and get this set up for you guys at the same time. Here it is. It fits in a little baggie. And it is from Theo. And so let's get this bad boy under there. And I guess it helps if we can see it. Well, we'll find it together. Here's my finger. There it is. And is this might be, yeah, too close in. There we go. Wow. I haven't looked at this underneath the microscope yet, guys. So this is new to all of us. I did not take a preview at all. So there it is. And it is fitting almost in its entirety in our field of view. So I would say, I guessed wrong before, but you know, it's like a centimeter and some change here. And I vote Brian's tooth. Nice, Jenny. And Melissa thinks it's one of hers, right? Or perhaps Lily left one behind in payment for the sunstone that she just took. And thank you so much, Ken, for being here. I really appreciate you coming by and lending all of your wise and getting that. So this is 12 centimeters according to the calipers. And the calipers wanted to take it away, so I'll bring it back. So I'm going to give you a side view here in a second. Doing that petrified wood experiment. Thank you, Ken. Really appreciate that. And if the tooth be known, and the tooth will set you free, there is its side, and I can get that still and a little less blurry here, she said. So, anybody's guess? That's pretty darn cool. Hard to stand still with it. So I'm going to poke it back here like that, and we'll get closer. An omnivore tooth, I would guess. Nice. And that opal guy, I think you're hungry. Cheryl's here. Quite all right, Cheryl. We saved the tooth for you. I'm going to go ahead and get closer and take a little bit of a closer view at this enamel. And so I'll give you a hint. There's some sand in there. This is an aqueous creature. So that might help a little bit. how interesting this is. I mean, that black, I guess, is where its roots would belong, and I guess that is fossilized. This is old. This is a fossil. This isn't a fresh tooth. I should have probably clarified that. I got it from Theo, and no, it's not his tooth. And John still has his little tooth book from the Tooth Fairy. And Lily trying to be the Tooth Fairy this evening, stealing stuff out of here. That's interesting. Can bring the exposure up just a little bit so that it can be a little bit lighter. There we go. She said 12 centimeters, but I meant 12 millimeters. Yes, I totally did. For those wondering, 12 centimeters would be so big. Thank you so much, Ken, for being there for my brain. And so, yeah, just a couple of millimeters bigger than a centimeter. And so, yep, the tooth shelf set you free, Cheryl. I think that was up a little bit higher. Dugon says Lisa. Nice. Actually, Nessie says Jenny. Seal says Kid Curry. A mouth tooth says Christy. That's a good one. Kid also suggesting a deer tooth. A Desmo. Scott. Right? Have you been looking for your Desmo? Because 3 of them. Kent found like the whole skull with some teeth in it just within the last few weeks. My goodness. So yeah, I would love to find a Desmo so much. All right, well, we have yes, Jenny, it's a Pleistocene era manatee. You got it. Aquaman. Nice opal guy. Tooth or consequences. Nice, John. I love it. The tooth is in the advertising. Indeed. So anyways, that I thought was really, really, really cool. Wanted to give you guys a look at that. We also have this little guy we'll take a quick look at. And we probably want to pan out. There's some overexposed wood for you. Sorry for Mr. Turtle Guy, if he's still here. He thinks he's going blind already. Fix the exposure and find this in our field of view. There we go. And that is also from Theo. And those of you who are good at your teeth might know who this guy is. I'll turn it around a little bit, hopefully without getting rid of it completely. Maybe I can do this. No, it's going to be too wonky. I'll have to do the tooth itself. How cool looking is that? It's a bad mama jamma. I meant to, while we still had that Ocho out, I was going to throw the UV on, but that is a beautiful little tooth. Let me take that out of there. And manatees are cool. I have never met a manatee, so that is definitely... And that's what I thought. Dugon is the Pleistocene age manatee. And so thank you, Lisa. Lisa got it right first then. Excellent. And this is Miocene tiger shark tooth. Oh, the Hugh manatee, right? Jenny Stone. You know what's really funny is that's what my son, when he was really little, he thought that's what they were saying, you know? He's like, oh, the huge manatee. is what he would totally say when something terrible, like, he was planning on having mac and cheese and we were going to be having vegetables instead. Oh, the huge manatee. And he was just little, like 4. He was so cute. So, here we go. Thank you, Opal Guy. The dugong is a marine mammal. It is one of 4 living species of the order Sirenia, probably named after the sirens, which also includes 3 species of manatees. So thank you so much for popping that up. And we've got Jack Nicholson in the dentist chair. You can't handle the tooth. Nice, John. That's got legs, legs and teeth, but yeah, it's good. Very good. And they're so docile, says that Opal Guy, but people run over them. Oh no, with their boats and pet them. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. The pasta is wheat, which is a vegetable, right? So when I was feeding the vegetables to the son, it didn't work in the obverse though. He wouldn't buy it, but that was as good as having what he would have preferred to have as far as the mac and cheese, as opposed to say the Brussels sprouts or something like that. And then we've got another really interesting thing here that I haven't played with, but we'll pop this underneath the microscope, and I'm imagining it's might even make us need to change. Well, no, not too bad. So this crazy thing, let's get us out. This was sent in by Theo. I don't know if we're going to be able to get out far enough from it. I wonder if it's going to be too far down if we take it to the next level. Take it to the next level. Okay, actually that does work. Anybody want to venture what this crazy thing sitting here is? It's not giving you a whole lot of information, so I can kind of maybe give it a little bit more light on it. There we go. And I will rotate it around a bit so that you can kind of get another look at it. It's highly silicified, so you can see in the exposure box now, which I am going to take away, that color change there is translucency, and it is agatized. I will tell you that it is organic. It's a fossil. I like mixing broccoli in my mac and cheese. So see, yeah, that sounds totally normal, right? Like a broccoli soup, like cheesy broccoli soup, but the macaroni broccoli version. Yeah, that's really cool looking. And I'm going to turn it over, and this might give you a little bit, that might be the information that you need or not. Very cool looking. Bring it down a little bit so we see a little bit more of that contrast there. And it's, like I said, agatized. Ah, boy, she is fast. Oh, and he's faster. Yep, you guys got it. And you probably got it at the same time. It looks like, yeah, 8:04. You guys both pinged in right at the same time. It totally took me turning that over and y'all got it. Don't tell Brian it's agatized. I know he's going to be at my house taking it. We've got Brian and his agates, and you, John, and your amethysts, right? And what do we have here? Dang it, tacos are ready. Have to go, but had a great time, Karen and all. Thank you so much, Jules, for hanging out with us. And actually, I am going to have to scoot like a turtle scoot as well. I will let you know that this is a shoot. Where's that bag? Scoot and shoot. Agatized oyster. He didn't say from what era, but I think that most of the stuff is Pleistocene. that he's been sharing with us from over there in Florida. And so thank you, Theo, for sharing those wonderful fossils. And Steve just got back from driving a very long way, picking up something that's really exciting. And so it's taken a lot of restraint to not like, oh, bye everybody, and just leave the the specimen under the microscope, and y'all can just look at it with some moody music behind it. And so I'm going to go check out the thing that he just brought home from his very, very long trip. And it's going to be a game changer for us, and also the channel gets to benefit from it as well. And so I'll make a reveal about what exactly that is. And it might even actually prompt another channel. So what is it? Oh my gosh. I'll leave you with that incredible cliffhanger. I want to thank you all so much for spending the weekend with us over there on the Friday Night Live, and then all weekend long with Kyle, seeing Theo's incredible engagement with that beautiful engagement ring. If you haven't gone and checked out that video, go check that out. Seeing y'all in the lives, went over and watched Kate's drop of her video this evening. And so if you missed that, Katie Did Rock has a new video out. All the things, and all y'all, John and Cheryl and Lisa and that Opal guy and Christy, Allison and Jenny and Scott and Brian and Jules and Melissa and all y'all, Ken, of course, and your petrified woods and all the things that you guys share. I appreciate you so much, and you did make me feel better. I felt way worse on Friday, and I'm getting better all the time. And it's thanks to you guys and all of your enthusiasm and the goodwill that goes through this wonderful rock community. So I want to thank you. I thank you for coming this evening. Cheers and Steinkern. Love you guys. And I will see you at the next live, wherever that might be, roaming around in this wonderful rock community. Have a great week. Rock on. See you soon. Cheers, Steinkerns.